My involvement with Falun Gong has been a journey which has, I suppose, taken a twist on the road that I didn't expect. I came to be involved in Falun Gong because of my anger about the misuse of my profession, psychiatry. The idea that someone would come into a psychiatric hospital and be harmed and their diagnosis would be falsified was horrifying to me as a psychiatric professional. I'm aware that throughout the criminal justice system in China, throughout the range of facilities where people, Falun Gong practitioners, are incarcerated, there have been deaths, there have been instances of torture, of huge wide-scale suffering, whereby people would be murdered in those facilities and stripped of their organs. I mean, I can think of no greater human rights abuse than this. Falun Gong is a way of life, it's a spiritual orientation, it's a philosophy which is a fundamental belief system that millions of people adhere to right across the world, not just in mainland China. There are elements in Falun Gong that are essential and helpful to help human beings meet key emotional and psychological needs. Meditation as a discipline is very, very useful for the individual in terms of the health benefits, in terms of managing stress, both physical and psychological. I think a spiritual belief system is a fundamental human need. It puts meaning and purpose in the lives of human beings. The idea of live Falun Gong practitioners who come to peacefully protest, who come to raise their concerns about their denial of human rights, and who protest through the legitimate channels, who would then be arrested, detained, and who may disappear within the state incarceration system. The thought that they could have their organs harvested and sold on, as is often the case, is of particular concern. The organ harvesting was a very, very sinister development. I mean, this took the persecution to a new low. Not only the organs that we might imagine, such as the kidneys and pancreas and liver, but also even heart and corneas have been harvested. So this is a practice, unfortunately, that has existed in China before the crackdown against Falun Gong. So putting it in that context, the concerns raised by Kilgore and Maytas, I think, are particularly relevant and deserve particular attention. There's been a massive increase in transplantations occurring in China, and foreigners are able to avail of this service for a very, very hefty sum. It's estimated, for example, that one can purchase a new liver for only $50,000. This could represent the greatest mass, wide-scale atrocity in terms of human rights abuses that the world has possibly ever seen on a more organised scale since the concentration camps. So certainly that is my concern.
I gave a talk on Falun Gong just to my colleagues in the Mental Health Commission. Very few of them had actually heard of the Falun Gong movement, and just as part of that told them about the human rights abuses in China, including the enforced psychiatric hospitalisation of Chinese people. The important and on little known facts to my colleagues that emerged during the talk was the whole area of organ harvesting and the fact that Falun Gong practitioners had been used for their organs. people were totally and utterly shocked.
I've been impressed by the sincerity, the dedication, the commitment of people I've met who adhere to the Falun Gong principles of truthfulness, compassion and forbearance. I mean, the people I've met lead exemplary lives, and I think the personal sacrifice that they have made, I mean, is beyond anything I can recall. And there's the sacrifice that they have made at every level of their lives is motivating for those of us who have a fairly peripheral role, but we must continue to help, to assist, to continue to support the work of those people I've mentioned that have truly suffered personally in many, many ways because of their simple, fundamental human right of exercising a spiritual belief system. So we have to continue. If they continue, we have to continue.